Hello, hello, hello. Back with another Path of Exile 2 video. This one's a little bit different because it's probably not going to be like Monk Build 7 or anything like that. It's just showing what the Monk can do after the nerf. I am testing this on a standard league, but I have removed HoWa. I have removed Ingenuity belt. I have put my breach ring at 40%. Okay, and I'm using a normal ring, which is a prismatic ring. Again, this is all end game gear, but it is showing the possibility of what the Monk can actually do because a lot of people are aware the Monk has been heavily nerfed in terms of its DPS. Anyone that's been following me from the beginning knows that I started off at like 100k, 200k, 300k, and then started going up to really high until my latest build, which was 9.9 million DPS. And we were beating Zesh pretty much in, 4 seconds. Now, obviously, it's a bit more of a tricky situation, but we'll go through what we have done, what we've changed, and then hopefully you can take this build onto Dawn of the Hunt. I will be starting a Monk at some point. I'm currently working through my Huntress. And yeah, without further ado, let's go through everything. So we've got 5,702 energy shield. Grim Feast is gone, which means no more double energy shield. Dexterity, 215, intelligence, 244, mana, 894. Again, resistances at max. I mean, the benefit of Ingenuity kind of going wrong and basically being nerfed is you can kind of put, and HoWa being nerfed a little bit as well, you can put different things on, which then improves your resistances more. So as you can see, I'm at 75, 75, 75, minus 9% chaos, but I'm running chaos inoculation, so therefore it doesn't matter. Energy shield, and then evasion's down here, so we've got 73% chance to evade. Let's go on to the skills. This is what's changed the most, given some new updates and stuff like that. Since the buff Chaos Inoculation, I'm no longer getting froze as much. So we've got Eye Strike. Eye Strike currently has 50% chance to crit and then an 852% critical damage bonus. We have paired it with Martial Tempo, Primal Armament, Rage, Ice Bite, and Concentrated Effect. This is how you're going to get quite a lot of damage. You can increase it a little bit by putting Heft in here, but Heft gives you 30%, whereas Ice Strike gives you 35%. Pair it with Rage, and Eye Strike's around about 250k-ish or something. Then we've got Cast on Freeze. No Cast on Crit now, unfortunately. It's one of them things now. You kind of don't really have the spirit unless you get yourself a really high energy shield and evasion chest, which means that you'll end up getting like a stupid amount of spirit, and yeah, you can run Cast on Crit. So we've got Eye of Winter, again the same thing, but this now, if you see here, when passing over an elemental ground effect or orb, it gains that type. Okay, so what I've done is done Cast on Freeze with Eye of Winter and Orb of Storms. So we've done this so we can get Eye of Winter to go over Orb of Storms, and then basically Eye of Winter will drag some electricity through it as well. Then we've got Chain, obviously Chain up to 1 times, Energy Retention, and then Inspiration for a little bit of less mana cost. Wind Dancer, we have Wind Wave, Blind, Unbreakable for the extra stun threshold and against heavy stuns and light stuns, and then Clarity for the mana regen. Obviously the best way to attack is to have the mana to attack. The bell has been heavily nerfed. Again, people watched that video before, my bell damage was up by like 55,000. Yeah, it's been hit hard, but we have to adapt. So we go with Heavy Swing, Close Combat, Innovate for a bit of lightning damage, Heft for physical damage, and then Pinpoint Critical, which gives you more critical hit chance, and then obviously less critical damage bonus. I'm not too sure to keep this in. I might swap this out and maybe put Ice Bite into here, so then it causes it to freeze as well as electrocute, and then put Pinpoint Critical into Ice Strike, but we'll have to play around. Hand of Cholula's back. We've got this with Freezing Mark, so therefore we can kind of cause more freeze build up. Super Critical, which gives you critical damage bonus. Strip Away, which then any exposure is stripped from basically the enemies. And then we have Inevitable Critical, which is critical hit chance for each second. Combat Frenzy is the go-to with Profusion. Herald of Thunder after testing it on Path of Building is the better one. Even though Herald of Ice does more damage on the overall, Herald of Thunder gives more damage on Path of Building, if that makes sense. Which is a bit weird, but it's just how it is. So we've got it with Lightning Infusion, Magnified Effect, Long Shot for that more damage at range, Glaciation to give you some freeze build up. It seems to work. I know they said that they won't proc in it, but I don't know. It just seems to freeze a little bit, but we'll trial and error with that one. And then Ambush, again, for that critical hit chance against enemies on full life. Charge Staff, we've got Perpetual Charge, Culling Strike, Overcharge, Twofold, then basically benefits from consuming charges are doubled. And then we have Untouchable, which is 25% increased evasion rating while using the support skill per quarter second of attack time. Okay, and down here we've gone for Ghost Dance. Ghost Dance gives you Ghost Shrouds. When you hit, you consume the Ghost Shroud, which covers energy shield equal to 7% of your evasion. But we've got Fast Forward, which they have less skill duration. Warm Blooded, which gives me 50% less freeze duration while it's active. And then we've got Cannibalism, which then recovers life with support skills active. But we're going to remove that because that was before I was running it with Chaos Inoculation. So we're just going to keep these two over here. So we've got Fast Forward and Warm Blooded, which now leaves us 19 Spirit. We'll give him more accuracy. There we go. So let's move on to the gear. Again, for people that see my build, you know how it works. For people that don't, I like to go for as much crit as possible. It just crit chance, crit damage. If you look at Path of Builder, I'm currently doing 95.6% crit chance with a multiplier of over 1000%. So you increase your damage by 1000%. It's pretty good. So we go for full crits in the staff every single time. You'll probably find any single weapon I have. Look, again, I'll go for crits in it, with the exception of probably Deadeye because I'll run the lucky build. So we've got quarterstaff here with attack speed, physical damage, crit damage bonus, and again mana leech. This could be better. I would personally go for, if you can, especially with a new league, go for one that has physical damage, like percentage increase, maybe an elemental damage increase, and then a crit chance bonus, and then an attack speed. There was one for sale, but it was like a mirror. But maybe you might strike lucky, especially for new people that are on it that don't understand it, and you might be able to pick one up for a couple of Exalted. If you're listening to this and you've just sold one for a couple of Exalted, sorry. And then we've gone for an energy shield helmet. So again, this has got crit hit chance, intelligence, and a bit of lightning resistance. The amulet, I'm probably not going to get an amulet like this on the other one. But we've got accuracy, evasion, energy shield, chance, crit damage bonus, and all attributes. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You probably won't find one like that. Easiest way to do this is go to Alva and literally just buy loads of amulets and just exalt them. You'll drop lucky on quite a lot of them. Breach ring, as I said before, I've put this at 40% to simulate what it would be in the new ones. So we've got cold damage, lightning damage, cold damage again, and then some resistances. As you can see there, fire, cold, lightning. My chest, we've gone for a high evasion and a high energy shield. So therefore we've got 135% increased evasion and energy shield, some intelligence, some fire resistance, and a bit of stun. You could probably get a far better chest than this. I just got it because I needed the spirit for cast on crit. I could run cast on crit, but ideally I want to run Ghost Dance to give me some spirit back. Cast on crit procs a lot. Like, it's constant procs. Boots, we've gone for movement speed 35%, and then we've gone for like basically full resistances. I just realised I've got 14% resistance in there. I don't need that. I'll probably change that to energy shield and evasion. And then on here we've got again energy shield, evasion, physical damage, cold damage, dexterity, and then resistances again. This is the good thing about HoWa being nerfed, the fact that you can get these resistances. But if you look here, I'm still above the resistances even with HoWa in, and it puts my damage up to 134k from 98k. And then we come down here, Maelstrom, Mana Flask, get it while you can. There's people selling it for like 50 Exalted, okay? It's a very, very, very good flask. It recovers your mana right back up to the top, and it gives you some extra chaos damage. And yeah, it's great. So that's the gear. Let's go on to the passive tree. This has changed quite a lot compared to my other builds, but a lot of people that saw my other builds know that I like to run as many jewels as possible. Jewels are the secret to basically a lot of damage, hence why GGG remove loads of jewel sockets. So we've kind of gone around as much as possible, but we'll start with the Ascendancy. We've taken Lead Me Through Grace, so this is the Spirit on the energy shield and evasion. I am the Blizzard, I am Thunder, and then Sunder my enemies. Again, so these give you more crit chance, and then these give you critical hits against elemental resistances. Then we'll come up on the left hand side and we're going to take Flow Like Water for increased attack speed, Mindful Awareness for evasion and energy shield, and then back round for Step Like Mist for more movement speed and some mana regen. Then come to the left, we're going to get Crashing Wave, which is 36% increased damage if you dealt a critical hit. Up to Moment of Truth, which is more damage if you've not dealt a critical hit. As I said before, I have a 95% chance, but it's always good to have on, because if I don't deal that critical hit, then I'm getting the extra 25% bonus. Then we move around here, and we've got Critical Exploit for more crit hit chance, Insightfulness for energy shield, mana regen, and intelligence. Down here for Pure Energy, which again is for energy shield and intelligence. Dampening Shield, which is energy shield, ailment threshold equal to my energy shield, and then stun threshold equal to my energy shield. So the more energy shield you have, the higher you would have a stun threshold and ailment threshold. Then we move up, and we've got a dual socket, which allows me to have Sundering and Cold Nature. These are very difficult to get hold of sometimes, but Sundering gives me critical damage bonus, and critical damage bonus against stunned enemies, and then Cold Nature gives me cold damage and increased chill. Then we go straight through the centre, and we've got From Nothing, which allows the radius of 0 Earth to be allocated. So this is very, very good, because if you get one of these, they're very cheap as well. Like, I picked mine up for like 1 divine, like in where it was the full peak. You allow this Sharpened Claw, Tough Claw, Swift Claw. There's a 75% damage buff there. You remove them, you're doing next to no damage. You add them on, you're doing quite a lot of damage. Then we take Resonance. Obviously, this is the staple of the Monk's build. With Resonance, you get power charges, frenzy charges, etc. And it works perfectly. And then we'll take True Strike for more crit chance, Follow Jugular for more crit damage, and Deadly Force for more damage if you dealt a critical hit. So these two work hand in hand. This deals more damage if not. This deals more damage if you have. Then we'll take Killer Instinct for more damage on full life. Then we'll take tenfold attacks for attack speed, and attack speed if you've been hit recently. When you're surrounded by mobs, you get obviously the extra attack speed, therefore you can kill them quicker. Then we take Eternal Youth, which then allows you to use your energy shield when you press your health, and it basically recovers your energy shield. Spectral Ward for more energy shield per 12 evasion on the body armor. To Careful Assassin, which gives you reduced crit damage bonus but more crit hit chance. And then here is reduced crit damage chance but more critical damage bonus. We move up, we take Chaos Inoculation, and then continue upwards. So we've got an Emerald with critical hit chance, increased damage with quarter staffs, and attack speed with quarter staffs. These are very good. The way I got this was literally bought one on trade for that was a magic, and then kind of exalted it, etc. You can drop lucky, like I say, you don't have to spend a stupid amount of currency. And then we go up to get Patient Barrier, which then gives you maximum energy shield but slow energy recharge. But then pair this with Ghost Dance, which helps recover it, kind of like balances it out. Then we move down, and we've got, like I say, Careful Assassin and Throat Seeker. These two work hand in hand. That one's increased crit chance, that one's increased critical damage bonus. Move down here to get Controlled Metamorphosis. This gives you minuses to your elemental resistances and your chaos resistance, but it doesn't matter because you're immune to chaos damage, so it doesn't matter. And the elemental resistances, you can kind of like balance that out. Go for one that's got as little as possible. But this allows you to put anything in this outer ring in for basically joining it together. So we've got Serrated Edges, which gives you more critical hit chance and then more damage against rare enemies. Manifold Method, which then gives you more mana leech and more chance to inflict ailments on enemies, so therefore more chance to freeze and stun, etc., and poison and shock. Then Enhanced Reflexes for more evasion and more increased dexterity. And then one with a River, which gives you more defenses, more daze, more freeze, and more stun while using a quarterstaff. Then we move down and we take Martial Artistry, which gives you more accuracy with quarterstaffs, more critical damage bonus, and some dexterity. You can take Whirling Assault if you want, but I personally don't like it because it knocks back the enemies. That was very annoying, especially when you like drop the bell and then go to hit Zest and they move away from it. Whereas now, it probably would be a little bit better to take it because you can kind of like push them back. Like, it does push Zest back, which could give you like a few second breather. But it's entirely up to you. And then we've got Through, which gives you more critical hit chance. Heart Stopping, which is again critical hit chance. And then Heartbreaking, which is critical damage. And down here, finally, we take Coming Calamity, which gives you cold damage, fire damage, and lightning damage on your heralds. And as we see, we're running Herald of Thunder, so it gives me increased lightning damage or affected by Herald of Thunder. Again, it's probably one of these things where you could probably get rid of Ghost Dance and put Herald of Ice on. I want to play around with it, but Path of Builder does say that Herald of Thunder is the better one. But you probably go for like a full freeze build from the looks of it. Like, I'd probably go for maybe change even this, cast on freeze for Eye of Winter and Frost Wall or something. You know, just something that you can get, or Chill Ground or anything like that, just to add some extra freeze around. And then again, you've got some freezing mark there, and then you've got put Herald of Ice, and then get there to obviously increase like Glaciation, which more freeze build up and stuff like that. You can freeze the bosses; they're not going to do any damage to you. Okay, anyone that's seen my video where it disconnected, I froze Zesh. Zesh can't hit if he's frozen. Okay, so it probably would be worth like maybe running Herald of Ice. So, like I say, this is in a standard league. It works very, very well. you can transfer this over into the other league. I have done it, so where it's no rings, and where we've like obviously got rid of the Ingenuity belt. You get the Ingenuity belt in the new league, it's going to be even better. Okay, the breach rings, even though they're at 40%, are still amazing rings. There's new skills. There's obviously the chest piece that gives you all 3 heralds at level 19. There's loads of stuff. Okay, again, thank you for 1,000 subscribers. We've done it. It's been a journey. I'm loving every minute of it, and I'm going to continue to make more builds as we move on through. A lot of people want me to do monk builds. I do like playing the monk, but I want to get a bit of like huntress builds out. So like I say, if you see them, can you jump in? No, leave a comment, show a bit of love. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Can you also subscribe if you haven't? I think like 98% of people that watch my videos aren't subscribed. It helps, like I say, again, the algorithm and everything like that. But without me continuing to waffle, any questions, let me know in the comments. Any feedback, let me know in the comments. And yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay safe. Peace.